Hey guys, just imagine Zaxman is barely over Magneto's trial, fought against the anti-mutant groups, dealing with Storm losing her powers and her subsequent departure from the team, the birth of Cyclops' son, little Nathan Summer, who will in the future be Cable, and already they're hit with a new riddle. A second Jean Grey shows up claiming to be the authentic one. Who is she? A clone? The real Jean? Or maybe Madelyne Pryor on the run, and how will our heroes solve this riddle without being able to depend on Jean's own psychic powers, since Xavier supposedly died? Today we're going to delve into these questions and dive into the possibilities of how this plot may unfold, including the possibility of seeing a new version of the Inferno event. Are you ready to unravel this mystery? Before we continue, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video to stay updated. Your likes and subscriptions contribute to the project's growth. And with this project expanding, I can bring you even more interesting videos, right? Thanks for the ongoing support. A while ago, we found out that Madelyne Pryor would make an appearance in X-Men 97 thanks to Hasbro's Marvel Legends figures. In episode 2, we got a glimpse of how she fits into the plot thanks to an ending that really shakes things up for us. The X-Men had barely welcomed Jean and little Nathan to the X-Mansion when another woman, who also claims to be Jean Grey, shows up. I just remembered that I also had our dear Funko Pop doll delivering to Madelyne Pryor. But the big question now is, who among them is the real Jean Grey? If the series decides to follow along with the comics, then the newcomer, who appears to be worn out and exhausted, must be the real Jean. It could be that we find out that the real Jean was replaced by a clone earlier in the series. Maybe during the Phoenix Saga or the Dark Phoenix Saga in the 3rd season, Jean would escape captivity and return only to find a clone in her place. I prefer that way, right? Because if Cyclops has a child with a clone and the real one shows up, it's much more dramatic than him having a child with the real one and a clone appears. It's more dramatic and deeper for him to have a child with a clone, right? On the other hand, the animated series may take a different direction from the original material. The woman who arrived may be Madelyne Pryor, but maybe she escaped from Mr. Sinister's lab and went to meet the X-Men without knowing that all her memories of the group had been implanted. In other words, she truly believes she is the real Jean. Either way, the X-Men are going to have to solve a big problem in episode 3. How are they going to decide which of the two is the real Jean? They can't exactly have Jean herself run a psychic analysis on the newcomer, can they? And when the truth eventually emerges, what happens when Madelyne Pryor is exposed and has to confront the fact that her whole life is a fake? Because if Madelyne is playing along knowing full well she's lying, that's one thing. But if she has been duped by Mr. Sinister into believing she's actually Jean, that's an entirely different scenario. Has it been confirmed that Mr. Sinister is among the antagonists returning in season 1 of X-Men? The question is, will the series create its own version of the Inferno event? Much like how the original cartoon adapted various plots from the comics? Will this storyline be the central focus of the first season's 3-episode arc titled Tolerance is Extinction? Or is the plan to explore a more intimate narrative centered on the tragic figure of Madelyne Pryor? Regardless of what happens, I hope the series manages to avoid some of the slip-ups that the comics have had. It would be disappointing to see this version of Cyclops make the same mistake of abandoning his family to return to the real Jean. The original animation, even though it was fairly loyal to the comics, used to streamline and simplify the stories. We hope this new chapter will do the same. We can probably also expect X-Men 97 to delve deeper into the story of Nathan Summers and his transformation into Cable, a character who's already shown up in several episodes of the original series. Is this child destined to become a time-traveling warrior, or will Cyclops and Jean Grey somehow achieve the family peace they so desperately crave? I believe that's why Bishop was incorporated into the original team, because he's a time traveler, and now that Cable is here, it might be related. Drop your comments below. One thing that X-Men 97 has made clear is that the mutant drama never ceases in this animated universe. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comments. I'd love to discuss the topics of the video. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Suggestions for upcoming videos are popping up now that you'll find totally relevant. I'll see you in the next video. See you later. What's up? What's up?